People. A very random live stream for a beautiful wild card weekend is what we're doing today, right? We're going to have people show up, hopefully, fingers crossed. I put the invite out there to many different platforms. So hopefully we got a good discussion going before the first wild card weekend playoff game. With me today is the creator and the host of After Further Review sports podcast, Mr. Jalen. Brother, thank you for joining me. And how you doing, dude?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you for throwing the invite out there. Impromptu. Gotta love it. About an hour away from kickoff of the first playoff game. So thanks for having me, man. And let's see what we can get into.
Of course. Make sure, Jalen, you are really good at putting everything in descriptions and all that. I'm not. I'll probably do it afterwards or whatever, but I'll be sure to put your stuff in there. So if anybody likes what you said, hates what I said, says screw the people's debate, I'm going to After Further Review. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. They'll be able to subscribe and go over to your channel. All right, let's talk about some wild card weekend. Dialed in. Let's go, Eric. Oh, Eric, big bro. Hey, man. Thanks. Next time, Eric. I mean, you're invited, dude.
Be
You're
here,
invited.
right here.
You're invited, man. You're invited. You know how to speak well. You know how to talk to men. Come on, man. Just anytime. But let's talk about it, dude. So before we get into all of that, I didn't get to catch your last episode. I didn't get to catch anything as far as let's talk like as far as the coaching carousel. We don't have to go into detail and all of that. I'm pretty sure that's been beaten down and that'll be talked about and discussed later on anyway. But any big surprises from your end on maybe the coaches that got fired? It could be offensive, defensive coordinator, head coach, or anything you kind of want to talk about before we get into our playoff talk?
I didn't have any surprises for who did get fired. It was all like, okay, I could kind of see that.
Okay.
And like the Harbaugh stuff, even though he was probably the biggest name, it seemed like that was going to happen. It was more so who didn't get fired.
Okay, let's do it.
Up in New York,
Joe
blanking on
Shane.
his name right now. The Jets
Shane.
head coach.
Oh, Aaron Glenn. Yeah.
Glenn, yes.
I agree.
I was honestly shocked that he remained. I mean, I guess it's the organization like wanting to try and do their due diligence and be like, let's give you one more year. This is your first time doing this, so let's try this out again. I just can't see what's massively going to change next year, especially since that he is a defensive head coach.
Yeah.
Defensive minded, and they were awful on all sides of the ball, but they were terribly defensively. Couldn't get a turnover to save their lives. It just
At
seems
all.
like
How many turnovers? I think it was 4 in the entire year.
yeah.
I believe so. Anybody in
None
the comments, please
interceptions.
correct me. No interceptions. I think that's the first time ever. I think. Is that true?
Yeah, I think I heard that too.
Or at least till they've been counting it. Let's just say that.
Right.
I'm pretty sure in 1910 there was no interception.
Yeah,
I don't know.
probably.
But I'm pretty
they had
sure.
leather helmets, yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't count any of that. It's like, oh, okay, good pass, man. Wait, that's the other team. Oh, damn it. All right. Well, here goes that. That's where the interception was born, fellas. Okay. But yeah, I would say I agree. On one of the past shows, either on this channel or another channel I was invited on, I mentioned that as well. Aaron Glenn not being fired. I get it. Oh, first time head coach. Oh, we're gonna give him a chance. The Jets always fire their first time head coach. And I agree with all of that. Sure, normally. But when like you said, Jalen, when he's a defensive minded head coach and your defense is absolutely poo poo and you cause no takeaway. Well, you caused 4 takeaways in the entire year, no interceptions. And all the head coaches that are available right now, I would think they would let him go and try to find something else. But
Yeah.
it is what it is on that one. Okay, let's see.
Very strange.
Very strange. I'll say also, because you mentioned New York, another New Yorker, GM though, Joe Shane. Joe Shane not being let go, Brian Daboll, I was 100% agreed upon the defensive coordinator getting let go. You have that many defensive pieces as far as personnel in your defense. Once they utilize the run, you suck. Well, that's kind of crazy. We all, I think, envisioned, maybe hyped it up too much. We thought the Giants defense, at least the pass rush, was going to be like top 3 this year. And by all accounts, strictly pass rush, they were fine. Don't get me wrong. However, overall defense, they were to be had. It was an easy win for a lot of other offenses. So that kind of surprised me, Joe Shane sticking around.
I would think it was his kind of saving grace. I don't know how involved he was in drafting Dart and Scatterboo. If assuming that he had a pretty good role in that, I would imagine that was maybe his only kind of like, all right, well, you did get these guys here, and they're kind of the cornerstone of our offense.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. The last 2 drafts, if they were mainly from Joe Shane, they've been good. They've hit on a lot of pieces.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll give them the benefit of the doubt there. Real quick, let's go into some comments and then let's talk about some playoff football. Let's see. Risk 1v1. Is Pookie going to be on the show today? Don't know who Pookie is, but thanks for being here. Eberflus got one and done. Not mad about it though. Yeah. I honestly, that was one of the takes that, we all have good takes. We all have bad takes. I thought Eberflus was going to make that defense look alive, and it did the opposite. So I was wrong there. Good for the Cowboys. Jace Brooks, what's up? What's up with you, dude? Make sure you like and subscribe, please.
What up,
Please,
Jace?
if you care about us. Is that your guy?
I do not know Jace, but I sort of do now.
Well, we're all friends here. Okay. All right. Yay, go Pats. That's what I'm talking. Yeah, we got 2 Pats fans in the house, huh?
Amen.
I'm from Massachusetts, but live in San Diego. That's a conflict of interest. Interesting. All right. You be careful out there, okay? You be careful, Eddie. I'm rooting for you. You be careful, though, okay? Make sure you like and subscribe. Okay, let's talk about the first game. It's about to come on. Los Angeles Rams at Carolina. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Jalen, I think we can all say, everybody that watches football, even most casuals, will say, unless they're Carolina fans, this, out of all the matchups, is the most likely to be a beatdown, likely to be a blowout. However, the reason why this game is so interesting, we thought that in the regular season, and that didn't happen. Carolina won as like 13.5 underdogs. So you have to put respect on the game at least. It's at Carolina. Bad weather might be a factor again. But, Jalen, my question to you is there any hope for Carolina to win this game? And if so, how do you think that's going to be able to be done?
They've got some hope. I mean, I will say, like, they were able to beat them the last time, and that was by, kind of forcing the Rams to slow it down. And I'm pretty sure Rico Dowdle had a monster game. Which has been kind of the secret to their offensive success this entire year. So that's going to have to happen again, especially if it's raining pretty poorly, like if the conditions are bad again. So I think they definitely can. I wouldn't write it off as being like, the game we saw last night with Indiana and Oregon, where it's just like a complete beat down. I think it will be, at most, maybe they go down by 2 touchdowns, but if they were able to do it once, I would like to think that they could do it again. They're at home. From what I understand, Rams fans don't seem to travel very well, especially being on the literally other side of the country. So
yeah,
I would imagine they're going to have a pretty heavy home crowd advantage. So I like their chances to do it. It's really going to come down to Bryce Young and what he does. Because if Rico Dowdle does not go off, even if he just has like a mid-game, they're going to need Bryce Young to do something through the air. So that's the big kind of X factor here.
Agreed. I couldn't put it together better. So I'm not obviously none of us are probably confident in Carolina's chances. Carolina's also, sorry, Carolina fans, even if they upset the Rams, let's just grant that they upset the Rams. They're still the least likely team to make a Super Bowl. Still, that's the unfortunate part for the Panthers. However, me and my brother talked off air, and I agree with his sentiment. No matter what happens, again, unless it's like 49-0, this is a win for the Carolina Panthers fan base as well. Would you agree with that? Because I don't think they should be here at all,
Correct.
but they are. They are here.
Yeah, I agree 1,000% because they lost that game in Tampa last week.
Yeah.
Like same time slot. It was raining. It was here in Tampa. And they, because of some weirdness, they were able to kind of fall into a dub. And correction, I was saying that Rico Dowdle had a big game. He did not. I was thinking when they beat the Packers, that was the game he went off. The Rams win. He didn't have. It was like by committee. Him and Chuba Hubbard had a so day. Like that was not their.
Went their best day, but it was mainly benefiting off of Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
Pick six,
That's
red zone pick, red zone fumble from the Rams. It was mainly just benefiting off of the turnovers that were, which shout out to Carolina, they jumped on it, but the turnovers that the Rams had, really.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, hey, if the weather is bad again, can you hopefully look for some wackiness to happen again?
Maybe.
I mean, that's your best chance. Your odds just went up even more.
Yep.
I just have a hard time believing, this is kind of my argument on our show, was that once they beat them that first time and it's in the playoffs, the Rams are going to be on high-end kind of alert here. Like, all right, let's not let this happen again, because I still don't know how the Panthers were able to score over 30 points in an NFL game. Like, that is just crazy to me because their offense seems anemic most of the times.
Yeah, I would say Carolina's offense, even though they look better than, let's say, 2, 3, 4 years ago, sure, granted, but yeah, they're one of the most inconsistent teams, both sides of the ball in the NFL. Yet they're in the playoffs. Dave Canales, he's doing something good there, in my opinion. No matter what happens today, Carolina fans should rest easy, and this was a successful season. Let's just say that.
Absolutely.
And end it off on a positive for Carolina. Because there was somebody said that I hated Carolina. It wasn't that. It was just watching the matchup. Didn't see it. After we beat LA, who do we play next? I think, well, it depends on who wins with Pittsburgh and Houston and all of that.
Yeah.
I am banking on. Do you know exactly how it goes, Jalen?
I don't. I'm about to look at the bracket now.
Yeah, let's see that. I would think if we win and Houston wins, I think we have to play Houston. I think, or
yes,
Buffalo and Jacksonville. I forget that one. I don't know.
I think we get the winner of Houston, Pittsburgh, regardless, and then Denver gets the winner of Buffalo, Jacksonville.
Interesting question,
or maybe not.
Eddie. Yeah. I don't know 100%, Eddie, but on his comment, he said, could it be Buffalo again? Out of all the teams, other than Pittsburgh, I would love Pittsburgh, but I doubt that'll happen. Out of all the teams, I would, funny enough, rather Buffalo to an extent. Jacksonville, I think they're the hottest AFC team right now that's going into the playoffs on both sides of the ball. I think they're the Patriots and the Jacksonville Jaguars are the most well-rounded teams in the AFC, but Jacksonville has a stronger schedule. Like, they beat and played more higher competition than we have. Fair enough. It is what it is. With Houston, I just don't want to play that defense, but I think our offense is much better than their offense. Buffalo, the only thing that scares me is Josh Allen, because it seems like this is the time, right? If any time Josh Allen is going to make a Super Bowl and possibly win it, it's right now. Lamar's not there. Joe Burrow obviously is. We kind of pictured he might not be there, and mainly Pat Mahomes isn't there. So this is the time. So I don't want to. I'm scared that we're going to be part of that story. I'm a bit timid on it, but as Patriot fans, Buffalo sucks. So whatever. I'll still pick us against them.
Amen.
Amen. Let's see. I'll play. Okay, so Chi-Town says we play the high seed. So whoever wins
Yeah.
of all that.
So it would be either Pittsburgh or
Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Jacksonville. You think maybe in that order? Whatever, dude. I'm not finna do all that. Okay, but either way, I don't want to. Depending on how if I see Trevor Lawrence plays like cheeks, but Josh Allen screws it up and loses that game, sure, of course I'll play. We'll play Jacksonville, but Jacksonville's hot. I don't know how I feel about them really, and I am intimidated by them, so I'd rather not play them. Let's go to another game. So the night game, I think it's way more competitive, and it's a legendary game. It's one of the deepest rivalries in NFL history. We got the Green Bay Packers going to Chicago, playing the Bears, and Jordan Love's going to be playing, I believe, if that's correct. I'm pretty sure that's correct. And Chicago, same thing. I think Chicago, in a different way, not like Carolina. They're better than Carolina, but they also have overachieved and now are in this driver's seat. Offensively, I like it. I don't know how Caleb's going to play in the playoffs, in a playoff atmosphere. That's not a negative. I think Caleb can play well as long as the running game's a factor. But with Green Bay at Chicago, Jalen, I'm interested in your thoughts. Like, how do you see this game parsing out, and who are you favoring, if you may?
I did. On our show, I picked the Bears to come out with the dub. I don't say that with any ounce of confidence, though, because I mean, yeah, they did need Malik to come in for like the Packers. He came in, and it took them to overtime in order for them to beat that team, and pretty sure that was at home. So, Jordan Love back in the lineup, it should be interesting. But I think this is going to come down to the wire. I'm just going default with the Bears because what I've seen from them as of late, not counting the last game of the season, they have been like, wow, like what a turnaround from back in September, because they're out of all the teams in the playoffs, late game, they're one of the most dangerous, I think. Like they know how to get the ball down the field if it's 2-minute drill.
Yep.
Caleb Williams seems to turn into a different quarterback, and it is like, oh man, I think that San Francisco game they had when they went to San Francisco and damn near were able to pull off that comeback at the end there. It was like, if that was any other team that they were playing against that was not Robert Saleh's defense, I think they probably could have pulled that win out. Yeah. So if it comes down close, that's why I'm deferring to Chicago, because they're at home, and if it's a close game late, I'm going to give them the edge.
I agree. Chicago, I think of them and Denver. I don't know who the third team would be. Them and Denver are the teams that, fourth quarter, it doesn't matter what happened in the third quarter. If they're in the game, they're all messed up. They're in the game. So I think with that being said, the way you frame it, if your framework is correct, and it is a back and forth game, offense or defensive game. If it's close in the fourth and the last 4 minutes, like give or take, I would favor Chicago as well. I've seen them come out on top. Everybody before the season began, before Micah Parsons went to Green Bay, the Green Bay's cap was really the defense. In most opinions. Of course, there's going to be outliers. The defense is like, okay, well, they have Rashawn Gary, they have Wyatt, but Wyatt's out. They have a couple guys that are good pass rushers. They'll be able to stop the run, blah, blah, all that. The secondary is iffy, but they're schemed up well from the defensive coordinator. But that's going to be the limiting factor. Because Micah's gone, I still think the same thing. However, you look at Chicago's defense, and it's turnover or bust. Like their defense is letting up yards out the wazoo. scores out the wazoo. So it just depends on Jordan Love. As easy and as boring as this sounds, Jordan Love and Caleb Williams, which one of the guys really come out to play with less turnover, with less streakiness? Both of the guys
Yeah.
are streaky. Jordan Love, yes, he throws a pretty ball. So does Caleb. In my opinion, throws one of the prettiest balls in the entire NFL, including some of the greats. Not saying he's one of the greats, but just that part of it. Both of
Right.
them are that kind of guy. But also, we've seen both of them get a bit streaky. Mainly, Jordan Love is mainly the guy with the turnover upside. This year, he hasn't had too many turnovers, but he hasn't played all the games. But he's the guy that can have 2-3 turnovers in a game. With Caleb, it's more of the inaccuracy sometimes, as far as where he's overselling people or not taking the 5-yard gimme route and he's going elsewhere where it's out of bounds or he's throwing it away, that kind of thing. So I think it comes down to what quarterback plays more efficient, not just in the turnover, but just efficient as far as moving the ball up and down the field. Because I think both of these defense can be had. I would agree with you, Jalen, on the answer on Chicago. I feel Chicago will have enough, and Chicago, everything that's on paper that we can look at, other than like overall defensive stats, Chicago's somewhat better than Green Bay, other than coaching. Like coaching, if coaching matters, unfortunately, Chicago's probably going to get bounced because I do like Matt LaFleur. But we'll see. I do think this is going to be a close matchup. You favor Chicago. I favor Chicago, but I agree with you in saying that I am not confident in that pick whatsoever. Okay. Is there anything else you want to touch on with the Green Bay Chicago game? Maybe a take that you already had or a hot take on what might happen so you can be the genius?
I don't have one here. This is one that I'm just like, I mean, this could really go either way. It is kind of cool seeing. Well, I guess you say it. I hate that they are facing each other so early in the playoffs, though, because I like to keep count of the black quarterbacks left in the playoffs. So I'm like, damn, we're gonna lose one by default. So either Caleb or Jordan Love is getting bounced out in the first round. But Jordan Love, obviously, he's got all the playoff experience, at least for the past couple of years. Caleb doesn't have really. Yeah, this is his first playoff game, so
yeah.
It's cool seeing like, all right, we got another another black quarterback in the playoff mix, new face on the scene to say. So I just hate that they're playing each other so early on, but that's kind of whatever.
Okay, right on. Let's see real quick on the comments. We got Cody YT Cody in the building. Caleb throws wobbly balls sometimes. But still, throw the ball. I mean, there's not many, especially on the run. There's not many guys that can really sling it like Caleb. Texans beat Steelers. We'll get there. Texans beat Steelers 33-9. Y'all scoring 33. What, 23 on defense? I'm confused. Let me hear y'all's chances that Panthers can upset. I give them a 25% chance. Well, we kind of already talked about that, and I think you're being generous. I don't know. I can't speak for Jalen over here, but I give him about a 10% chance. If you had to put a percentage on it, what would you give it, Jalen?
Probably like 10, 15-ish.
Yeah. Not 25 is pretty generous, brother. I give you that. But yeah, I don't think that. So right now we're in agreement. Rams, Chicago. If we know what we're talking about or we see it correctly, this is going to be the winners of today. If we're wrong, whatever. If Carolina wins, whatever. All right. There's no more takes that need to be had. Now it's just conversations. There's no looking at the numbers. Numbers mean absolutely nothing if Carolina wins. If Carolina wins, I'm not bringing up stats ever again. I'll just talk. What it is, what it is. Now, we'll go on feels. We'll go on feelings at that point. Right, one more. Cody. I agree. Caleb on the rollout is nice. That's why defense has to contain him in the pocket. Agreed. However, the Chicago's offensive line has played very well. Everything they did in the offseason seems to have worked. And it'll be hard for Green Bay without really a pass rush, Rashawn Gary, all respect, to really get to Caleb. That's where I think it'll favor Caleb. And I think it's more high scoring as far as this game. I think Jordan Love cooks a little bit too. I don't think Chicago's defense is good, but they will get a turnover or two out of Jordan Love, which towards the end will be the big factor in why I believe Chicago wins. Okay. Let's go to Sunday, since I'm probably not going to make another stream about this. Sunday, Bills at Jacksonville. In my opinion, Jalen, you give me your opinion. I think this is the best, most intriguing, complex. What's your argument? I could hear all arguments normally with this game right here. You got Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills going up against Trevor Lawrence, Liam Cohen, and the gang. Jacksonville possibly has the coach of the year. Possibly it's either us, Ben Johnson, or Mike Vrabel. And out of those three, from history, it's going to be one of those three. Now, which one? I have no clue. If you go for who's the most worthy, it's the Patriots. If you go for who has the vibes, it's Ben Johnson. You've seen the locker room skits. And if you go for who shouldn't get it just off of vibes, Liam Cohen. But I digress. Bills, Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence is back in the playoffs. This is, like I said, very intriguing just because Buffalo, if my memory serves and the stats are correct, anybody in the comments or Jalen can correct me, Josh Allen doesn't win away in the playoffs.
Yeah. Yep.
I think he hasn't won.
Correct.
That's actually crazy. Didn't know that. I know he was bad again. Well, not bad, but he didn't win a lot, but I didn't think he won none. So that was news to me before making a pick earlier, but that's a factor. Then you got Jacksonville, and you don't know what the heck's going on there. You have no clue. Should we take them serious? I think we should. Buffalo should definitely take them serious. But we've seen something like this before. A hot team in the regular season goes to the playoffs, gets beaten up by a team that's always been in the postseason in the Bills. We've seen it. However, again, that stat is still there. Josh Allen, Owen, whatever, in away games in the postseason. Jalen, I'm curious. What are your thoughts on this game? Break it down for me. And at the end of your breakdown, give me a winner.
This is also, I think, the most entertaining one because of the drama here between these two teams. And it's crazy because the 6th seed, like the lower seed, is one with all of the expectations built up. And it feels like Jacksonville is just playing with house money, even though they're the 3rd seed. Like no one has really any real expectations.
Yeah.
Even though they've been pretty hot the last half of the season. Yep. I mean, they've been red hot. Yeah, I think that yes, the expectations are warranted for Buffalo because, like you mentioned earlier, the landscape is just wide open. The usual barricades are not there for them. So it's like, all right, this is your chance. It's just funny that this is the matchup that they ran into. It's like, man. And yeah, even before Josh Allen, I think they haven't won a home or away playoff game in like 30 some odd years, like 31, something like that.
Okay. So it's a deeper curse. Got it.
Yeah. It goes beyond, it's deeper than Josh Allen.
Yeah. Okay.
I think even the year that we played the Jags in the AFC Championship game was like 2018, 2017.
2017, I think, or 16 or 17, one of them, I think.
They beat the Bills in the wild card round to get there.
Right.
And that was when, I think Tyrod Taylor was the quarterback. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they had to go on the road to Jacksonville and they still couldn't do that. So it's a deep issue there. And, as hot as the Jags are, I think that the Bills, what they need to realize and what so many other teams haven't realized is you're not going to beat them at their own game. Like if you're going to get into an offensive sprint with them, You're not
Yeah,
winning that. First of
it's
all,
not gonna.
Buffalo doesn't have the personnel to keep up with them in the first place. And then instead of like Jacksonville's a buzzsaw right now, don't
Mhm.
try and out buzzsaw them. Sometimes you just need to come around and unplug the damn saw.
Ah,
Then you can slow them down and be like, all right,
I like
let's
that.
go ahead and play this game. Well, now that this saw isn't spinning,
Mhm.
we can match up with you a hell of a lot easier. So I think they're going to like James Cook has to get involved. There's no other option. If he has a mediocre game, Buffalo's going home easily. So I think James Cook needs to have a big game, and they need to not rely on Josh Allen to go play hero ball and just bail them out like they default to so many times. So I do think Jacksonville wins it. I picked them to win this game because
Ooh.
I don't think Buffalo's going to do that. I think they're going to try and beat them at their game like they infamously do.
Mhm.
And I think they're first round exit. And I think this is the last time we see Sean McDermott coaching the Bills.
Okay, that's how you do it. All right, there's a lot of hot takes there, and yes, just salivating in there. And I hope you're right. I'm going opposition of you, not because of logic. So yeah, everyone knows me. I like to debate, use logic. Right now, I'm not doing it because everything's, and I don't understand why. Everything's telling me Jacksonville is going to win, just exactly how you broke it down. Jacksonville's running game. James Cook is better than ETN, sure. But overall, throughout the season, when ETN's been utilized, this offense is, you can't beat it. It's an unstoppable kind of force. So, and then also on the flip side, one team is terrible at stopping the run, Buffalo. Terrible. I think they're 31st or 30th. There's a 3 there. So just 31st, 30th. I don't think they're last. And on the opposite side, you have Jacksonville, number 1 in yards allowed against the run. So I think on the flip side, Josh Allen is going to have to play hero ball, and he will get it done against Jacksonville.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and it really, like, I want to throw up by saying that, but it for me, man, it's this. Everybody that knows how I debate, this isn't a debate, so it's just me telling everybody, hey, logic's out. In my head, logic's out. There is, in my head, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't calculate. It doesn't. Nothing's plugging up. Josh Allen, without everybody else in the playoffs, is going to be a first round exit. There's absolutely no way. And also, I want to put a break on Buffalo's defense being their running defense sucks, but their overall defense being atrocious. Like I've been hearing that a lot. Buffalo's defense is so bad. It's the worst it's ever been. It's not. I don't know where people are getting this from. Maybe because Derrick Henry had his game, or there's this rushing attacks had a game. Sure, I agree with that. But overall, just looking at numbers with context, they're not the worst defense. If Jalen's right, though, I will say this: if Jalen's right, Sean McDermott, if it plays out how I think you're playing it out, Sean McDermott will be possibly without a job, which would get so interesting this offseason. Gosh, it would be so interesting. I would love. Yeah, we'll see. But me and you are at odds. I think you're framing and how you broke it down logistically makes sense. But what doesn't make sense is Josh Allen not making a freaking championship game without Pat Mahomes, Lamar, and all that, which again is fallacious, but still. So I'm going with the Bills beating the Jacksonville Jaguars with late game heroics done by Josh Allen. So if that happens, I'm a genius. All right. Record it. And if it doesn't happen, I'm deleting the stream. I'm just kidding. But I'm just kidding. But yeah, we're at odds, but I don't necessarily totally disagree with you. I just disagree with the conclusion, I guess. Whatever. Okay. Real quick. I think there will be a sea of blue in the Jag stands. Well, Buffalo fans are freaking. I'll be nice. They're very passionate. Very passionate. You mean the game
It's a
plan for
nice way of putting
Buffalo?
it.
Yeah, I want to say that if you look at the IQ scale and you put all the Buffalo fans together, It's probably like 50 or something like that. So you mean
You
the
round
game
up.
plan for Buffalo, if you round up, you be generous with them. You mean the game plan for Buffalo is the same every year and Josh still doesn't get it done? Maybe. It's the worst defense they had since Milano has played a full season. I think stopping the run, yes. Overall, I guess you could debate it. With Leslie Frazier, when he was the defensive coordinator, the defense was always like top 5 in every statistical category, right? And then playoffs came and they get 40 hung on them. So I don't know, man. I don't know about that, but Cody, you might be right. I haven't really done that, but I just don't think they're as bad as a lot of media and podcasts are saying. I don't think they're overall that bad, but nonetheless, okay. San Francisco at Philadelphia. I think this is not the most intriguing, but the weirdest game. This can go 2 separate ways. San Francisco, my prediction in the early season, they were going to win the division, win the amount of games that they won, and all of that. And got close, right? But I will say, because when Jalen, on your beautiful podcast, when you were giving me praise, which I appreciate, I always got to set the record straight. When San Fran lost all their defense, I said, well, there goes that. Never mind. Never mind. I bounced out. When Brock Purdy got hurt, I said, all right, well, there goes all that. I'm not going to ride for this team anymore. And, I should have stayed. So San Francisco fans that aren't fans of me, that's fair enough. But they're here now. I think the offense is a well-oiled machine other than the last game, of course. I think Seattle's defense is just that good, though. And Philly's on the opposite trajectory. Like, the offense looks, what the heck? How? Why is the offensive line health issues? Sure. But overall, the inconsistencies with this offense is very off-putting. Let's just say that. But their defenses came alive with Vic Fangio. And Vic Fangio, historically against Kyle Shanahan, Vic Fangio's defenses normally get the nod. So you tell me how you have broken this game down. I'm pretty sure you already broken it down. And who are you favoring, Jalen?
This one, it hurts me because no
Oh,
matter
you're gonna
how
say
I
it.
look at it,
You're
it's
gonna say it.
hard for me to find a way that the Eagles don't win this game. Betting wise, I did take the Niners and the points, but obviously that doesn't mean that they're going to win the game.
Yeah.
With the injuries that the Niners have sustained as of late, I'm like, damn, it's very hard for me to see, like, how are they going to be able to win this game now? Because Seattle really beat them up there.
They did
2 weeks ago or last week, whatever that was.
Mhm.
Like, literally just beat them up. So at this point, the Phillies their stars are coming off of a week off. They're well rested, and it's like the complete opposite coming on the other side of the ball. So Phillies at home. Yeah, I don't. And Philly's just such a well-rounded team. Even if their offense has their head in the sand or whatever it may be, it's like they are just such a well-rounded team. I think Philly wins this one. I pray I'm totally wrong on this.
Yes.
It would kill me. I would probably not sleep tonight if Philly wins this by like a point or a field goal, because I took them San Francisco plus 4.5. So if Philly wins this really close, you may not hear from me for a little while.
Okay. All right. Also, people that don't know, over on After Further Review Pod, there's a lot of Philadelphia Eagles hatred. Okay, and
There is.
I'm here to let everybody know, because I was a bit perplexed and confused, and then I started getting the vibe. I said, "Oh, okay, all right, this is what it is." Okay, got it. But to your point on Philly being like still a well-rounded team, at least on paper, I agree. You can't disagree with that. And also with Philly, again, the defense is playing well. The offense out of nowhere could just snap back. Because Jalen Hurts, I've been a critic somewhat of the only reason is because Jalen Hurts, they've been putting him like top 3, top 4, and I think that's absurd as a quarterback. Just as a quarterback wins everybody can debate whatever. I'm not a quarterback wins guy. That doesn't reflect on you as a quarterback. Everything else does, and that's an added bonus, sure. But that's a different debate topic. With Philly, they can easily just come out of nowhere. And like also you said, San Francisco getting beat up, fighting for something in their last week, Philly taking a break, that could also play a big factor in this game. Funny enough, I'm going to totally go back on what I said because we did a preview and I have San Francisco winning. Only reason I don't really. Only reason is because the agenda. You know how this is. You know this game. You know this game, Jalen. The agenda has to. The agenda's there. All right. I'm a Brock Purdy guy. All right. And I think, hey,
Got it.
it is what it. I don't care. Yeah, it's everything's going up against San Fran except one thing, huh? And his name is Brock Purdy. That's where I'm going with this. I think Brock Purdy is going to shut all the naysayers up. Not saying they're going to win everything. In this game, they most likely ought to lose. 85% of the time, I'm pretty sure they're going to lose this game because of all the variables with this. But I think Brock Purdy is going to pull a rabbit out of the hat. And there wasn't even a hat to begin with. He's going to do straight magic to defy all the odds when all the odds are not in his favor anymore. The Avengers, quote unquote, are gone. The defense is coached very well, but the personnel is just not there. Robert Saleh is doing a hell of a job. We all can recognize that. You don't have the players, you don't have the players. It is what it is. But I do like their secondary. I like Stout. I like Lenore. I do. I like their secondary as a whole. If Saquon Barkley has over 100 yards rushing, I'm toast. I'm not going to, yeah, it is what it is. I'm going to lose all that. They're going to lose. I do have an agenda, and I have to have it be met, Jalen. So I do have San Francisco doing what you want, covering, but also winning. Huh? You obviously have Philly winning, but by like, you said San Fran was +4?
Plus 4.5. Yeah.
Okay. So just a close game, and you'll be satisfied with that. But yeah, but you have Philly winning. Is that correct?
I do. But this matchup is so interesting because it's like Brock Purdy and Jalen Hurts. They've already had their playoff, at least that one playoff run in, and I can remember.
Yeah.
Where didn't Brock Purdy like dislocate his arm or something bizarre?
Yeah, and C-Mac was the quarterback, and they lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. They thought that was a good idea. People really said, well, just put C-Mac in there. It'll be good. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Sure.
It's an idea.
The
49ers, the matchup between Jalen Hurts and Brock Purdy is so interesting to me because they remind me of each other, where it's like both quarterbacks that were kind of written off. Yes. I believe they came in the league around the same time. And it's like they both have like gone to Super Bowls, and it's like they're running in a very parallel kind of universe right now. So this is very interesting to me to see who comes out of this one, to see like, all right, where does that chapter go next? But I will say, Jalen Hurts has been playing extremely conservative all year. Brock Purdy, it's like the complete opposite. The Rock Purdy has been balling this year. And I'm like, all right, let's see what he can do against Phillies. That defense is legit. So
it is. So yeah, we're somewhat at odds. We're kind of agreeing everywhere, but I have an agenda, Jalen. So I kind of have to just roll with it. I like how you brought up they're virtually somewhat the same. This offseason, not to get too much on a tangent, that's all I was saying. They were putting Jalen Hurts at all this. They said Brock Purdy's not top 10. I said they're basically the same, man. One has a bit more rushing aspect, a bit more, because we've seen Brock Purdy. That's what he does. That's why he's different than Mac Jones and all the other guys. That's why he works well with Shanahan. That's why he's the optimal quarterback for that system. Not Garoppolo, not any of those guys. It's him. That's why. But like you said, one's conservative, and Brock Purdy said, all right, y'all paid me. I got you. F it. I'm doing. I'm whatever you got. I'm gonna do anything I possibly can. Sometimes to detrimental value, but hey, he's doing everything he can to win the game, and I think that's going to show itself in this game. And I honestly, that was not a take that I had until you said that. So you saying one's conservative and one's kind of loosey goosey now. I think the loosey goosey. I think the game manager, quote unquote, from Cam Newton is going to become a game changer this game. I like that. All right. That's the worst defense. Yeah, appreciate it. All right. Eric is in the chat, and he is a Cowboy fan. And he's getting ready to. Where is it? Is the comment up? No, still not. Okay. Let me hold on. Eric has a bit throw up in his mouth. Come on. Where is it? Is it showing? Jeez, is it not? There it is. All right. Yeah. He's got some throw up because he's probably going to pick Philly. Either Philly shows up crazy nice and walks on to the Super Bowl, or they get bounced this game. Okay. Either or, black or white. You know, I'm not mad at that. Yeah, it's normally fallacious, but I think with this Philly team, you can honestly say that. Cody,
yeah, you should be able to tell pretty early on here.
I think so. All right, come on, comments. I don't know what kind of internet you got, Jalen, but my internet sucks, I guess. Golly, this is taking forever.
Mine's probably not much better.
It's going to be hard for the Niners to pull it off with the injuries, so unfortunately, Philly takes it. Again, logically sound. It's not just valid, it is a sound argument, and y'all guys are probably right. But one thing y'all haven't put in account is I'm taking that nickname from you. Brock the Rock. Huh? That's what you're not putting in account. You got Jalen, he's all right every now and again, you know. I like his demeanor. Then you got Brock. Now he's Dougieing. This is the year, okay? Usually, if Brock does a Dougie one time in this game, Philly fans, you're cooked. Philly's D is tough, but undisciplined should work over the Niners. Philly's D is tough. Yeah, but I think in the playoffs, Vic Fangio, he ain't going to let them get undisciplined. I don't think so. That's why I got to give respect to Vic Fangio. I do. Would be great to see C-Mac and Saquon have epic games. If that does happen, I will be wrong. Mark my words. If it is a rushing attack game, the better I know you probably heard this, Jalen, but Saquon having a down year. It wasn't a bad year. It's just if you compare it to last year, right?
Right.
C-Mac running the ball is not he wasn't efficient at all this year. You know, running the ball, just pure running. Yeah. I understand. Scrimmage yards he was. But running the ball, that's going to favor the Eagles. So Jalen Carter's back. Yeah. I hope I'm right, and I hope Brock Purdy has 2 rushing touchdowns, 3 passing, and all you guys come back and say, "Man, that guy Milton, he got something. He knows.
He's on to something.
He's on to something." Huh? Dougie Brock should be a Madden Ultimate Team card, 100%. You know what, Cody? Can I pin that? I'm gonna put a star on it. That's what I'm gonna do. I like it. All right, there is a score prediction from Jose at the Pudo Pinche Sports Channel. San Francisco 17, Philly 26. Honestly, that doesn't look too bad. It's kind of pissing me off a little bit. I gotta reverse that. So I'm going San Fran 26, Philly 17. Eat that.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's a take. All right, let's go. Los Angeles Chargers. Let's try not to be biased here, okay? So, you know what? I'll let you cook a little bit. I'll see where you're going. If you're going positive, reasonable, outlandish, I'll see where you're going with it, and I'll just play the opposite. I'll be good cop, bad cop. Los Angeles Chargers visiting Foxborough, Massachusetts, playing against the New England Patriots that won 14 games, and everybody laughed at us. But go ahead. Jeff.
This is a very interesting one. It kind of reminds me of the Bears-Packers matchup because you've got 2 very good head coaches coming into this, 2 very good quarterbacks. I mean, Drake May's comp was Justin Herbert when he was drafted. So it's kind of funny that it was like, all right, here they are now. But at the end of the day, I have to roll with my Patriots, and it really comes down to Justin Herbert's injured hand or wrist or whatever that is. I know it's
Yeah.
not his throwing arm. I get that. However,
Yeah.
in a playoff game with Coach Vrabel, isn't just any coach,
Mhm.
I guarantee you they're going to key in on like, okay, we know what his weakness is. Like, we know where he's literally hurt.
Yeah.
If you watched some of their Chargers' more recent games, it's like Philly, when they did play Philly, was able to kind of at least try and rattle him there, and he was able to beat them with his legs, which is the weirdest thing
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, if we take kind of that sort of same game plan and just
Mhm.
exploit them there, because I really think that if you can start to rattle Justin Herbert, to me, he comes unraveled fairly easily. Not to say that he can't bounce back, he can still dig them out of a hole. Um, but it's not to me like it doesn't seem to roll off of him as it does maybe with some other guys. Like it kind of bothers him for a little bit. That's what it seems like to me. So
Mhm.
I think that if we can really just bother him, which we don't have the greatest pass rush out there,
No.
but knowing that it's like if this is a point of emphasis for the game, I think that's kind of the X factor. Is just throwing Justin Herbert off of his game, force him into, even if it's not an interception, but some questionable passes that make him say, okay, maybe I shouldn't do that one again. Let me hold this ball a little longer, see if I can find something else. And that's when you just pop him. And hopefully, if we, let's make him grit his teeth a little here. Like, come on, we got to use what we have to our advantage here. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm going with. I think offensively, Patriots will be fine. We'll do our usual thing. Drake May should spread the ball around like he has literally all year.
Yep.
To me, it just comes down to defensively is can we throw Justin Herbert off his game a bit?
I'm so glad that you did that because that's exactly how when we broke it down on the show the other day, I said with our lack of competition, which we have no control over, where I think it benefited us most, and tell me if you disagree, is not Drake May. I think it's our defense. I think defenses, we played some decent defenses, and Drake May's done what he had to do. If it's not 300, well, obviously not 300 yards. If it's not 250 yards, it's with his legs or just being efficient with the ball, hence the completion percentage, right? Our defense, I think, has benefited more off of the bad teams that we've played. Not saying our defense is bad, but if you look on paper, our defense is like top 5, top 6, top 7. I don't know if that's true at all. I don't know if that's true. I'm just going to put that out there. That's where I'm a bit worried. I'll say that. I do agree with the sentiment of you saying it's all going to really come down to Justin Herbert. What are we going to do with Justin Herbert? The offensive line is the worst offensive line, pass blocking and run blocking in the league as far as the Los Angeles Chargers. We don't have a great pass rush, but guess what? Milton Williams is healthy. He has playoff experience. I think he could really disrupt that. I think Harold Landry's back. That's going to disrupt that. We don't have to have the greatest pass rush to beat this Chargers team. Like Jalen said adequately, is we just have to get Herbert off of his timing. Herbert, if he starts cooking, not going to lie, Jalen, I'm going to be squinching my butt cheeks the entire game because we could say all we want on Justin Herbert. Is he hyped? Is he this? If he gets on a roll, it's a little bit. If you're on the other side watching it, you're like, well, somebody hurt him, and you don't want to wish that, but that's kind of is what it is. Okay, if anybody can relate there, I do think we win just because of the offensive line for sure. But I am a bit timid on what Justin Herbert does to our secondary. Of course, I love Christian Gonzalez, but I do think our secondary has been had in a couple of games where it's really pissed me off because name value, we have some names back there. So it's kind of baffling sometimes to me that we get done the way we get done. And we got Mike Vrabel. He has the playoff experience, obviously first time with the Patriots, but that doesn't matter. He has playoff experience. He's won the big games. He's beaten us in a big game. Speaking of that, Ruin
Yep.
Tom Brady and the Patriots. Damn it. Logan Ryan, eat your days, dude. But not really. I'm just kidding. Shout out to Logan Ryan. But I do think that we win. I'm only hesitant because of Herbert. Herbert, like you said, he can win with his legs. And our linebackers aren't that athletic, Jalen. They're really not.
Sadly.
They're old. They're smart. They're smart guys. Blaine and all them boys, they're very IQ there. Buffalo, you wish, Buffalo fans. But that's the only reason I'm hesitant is just Herbert. But if we can get to Herbert, we'll be all right. You have any? So I got let's see, Chargers will find a way. Let's see. You got anything for that? I got some comments. Eric says, come on. Chargers will find a way to lose, should win, but won't. I don't like how you said should in capitalizations. Don't like that. What do you mean by that, Eric? Been hating on the Patriots since day one. All right, here we go. Now a reasonable take. Chargers 0, New England 49. 1,000,000% biased, and he does not give a. Y'all know what that is. I ain't saying it. Pat's better arm drop tackle. That's funny. That's pretty funny. Listen, I don't wish injury on anybody, but when it comes to the playoffs, Jalen, I don't know if you saw our end of year grades, but for quarterbacks, I didn't even put. I've defended Justin Herbert on the show many times because they have a certain way that they look at him. I don't see that. I put, because we're enemies right now. I put, Herbert off of Family Guy, the pervert. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That's what Justin Herbert is to me right now. So if you have any moral compass and you're going for a pervert, well, that says more about you guys. So you put yourself in the box. If you're going for the Chargers, Drake May, all you can say is a singer-songwriter or a time of the one of the months. So there's no good jokes for you. Take that. Chargers will snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. That's funny. I like that. I do like that. I hope so. Bro, it's Herbert. He doesn't win in the playoffs. Well, and that's what Eric seconds that. So that's where I almost defended him right now, but I remembered. He's the enemy. And y'all are right. He doesn't. He sucks. Take him out.
For
right.
One more day, and then you can go back to defending.
One more day, and I'll say, guys, come on. Let's be reasonable here. Let's talk about it. It wasn't his fault. Okay. All right. Last game. So we're in agreement to all of the games except San Fran, and I have the Bills, you have Jacksonville, and you also have Philly. So, and both takes, honestly, you're more logical than I am. But again, there's agendas on shows like this, and I have to stick by it because nobody's going to watch this part. All I'm going to do is plug out the stuff that I said that was right. Okay? That's how this works. Okay.
Name of the game.
All right. That's the name of the game, baby. Let's go. The game that's going to be pretty easy to, well, unless you got a hot take, Pittsburgh at Houston on Monday night. Something's got to give. I didn't coin this. Somebody said it, and I completely agree. I saw it on social media. Something's got to give. Either something's going to change. With Monday Night Football, Mike Tomlin is a genius. He doesn't lose, right? But first round playoffs, Mike Tomlin absolutely sucks. They never win. Right? So which one is going to happen? Humor me, Jalen. Tell me how this is most likely to happen and why, if you want.
I've got the Texans winning this one pretty easily, to be honest. And out of all the games, even the Carolina LA one, to me, this is the most boring. Both of these teams put me to sleep. I'm sorry. One is very, very old. And the other one, I love CJ Stroud, but the Texas offense, I don't know. It's like, y'all do something more interesting. I'm like, this is just, ugh. But the whole Tomlin, doesn't lose on Monday night. I don't know what the hell that matters. It is like the weirdest stat to call out. I'm like, You think he changes his game plan based on the day of the week? Like, I hate to throw things up to chance, but come on.
Yeah,
I think the first round thing is a little more impactful because it's like, yeah, things do get tougher in the playoffs, and usually in the past, the Steelers have kind of benefited on winning their division by way of the rest of their division falling apart at the seams throughout
right.
any given year.
Good
And then they
point.
get to the playoffs and it's like, oh shit, these guys are real. Like, and then they just get popped in the mouth, and that's that.
Yeah.
So to me, there's an actual explanation behind them consistently losing in the first round rather than a Monday night. It's like, I don't know what that really means, but
That's what
yeah,
I'm
I think
talking
the
about.
Texans win this. That defense is very good. Um, Aaron Rodgers grabbing his arm every other play. I don't think that's going to fare very well for him in this game, especially on the road. At least he'll be indoors. You know, it won't be cold. He has that going for him.
Mm, mm.
DK being back really doesn't matter much to me.
Mhm.
The Pittsburgh, they have once again benefited another year off of the rest of their competition just imploding right next to them. So uh, I think this is the end of the road for the Steelers.
Okay. Beautifully said. And I like your refutation on people that bring up the Mike Tomlin whole thing, and also why Pittsburgh wins the division, because all that is true. Normally, when they win, other than back in the day, there's a couple fall offs.
Right.
That's a very good point. Jose from the Poodle Pinche Sports, Pittsburgh 6, Houston 20. Well, yeah, that's more accurate. I think, what did Brandon say? He said like 30 points or something like that from Houston. I as great as Houston's defense is, which it is, it's the best defense in the league objectively. I think Seattle's is, but there's not a real good argument you can make over the course of the season, Seattle over Houston. So I'll give Houston the nod there. But their offense, like Jalen said, well, he was nice about it. The offense sucks. The offense is very bad. The offensive line still has played better, sure, because now they're kind of scheming around the offensive line's issues. So they're kind of hiding it better. I agree with that. They have no real running game. CJ Stroud, he's not bad. Like when you watch him, he's not like just oh man, CJ's falling off. It's Nico Collins or bust. And sometimes they don't feed Nico. And you're looking at it like, what's going on? What are you doing? I'm getting him 15 targets a game because it's gonna work eventually, especially with
Right.
Pittsburgh. So I would assume that's what they're gonna do. That this is more nerd talk, but anybody that watches Houston games, they do this one little play where they go off to the left on offense. CJ Stroud throws like a mini screen to the left almost every game, and it has sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. Um, all the Houston fans, you either like or hate what I just said, because you'll probably think, oh, that's the good play. But I don't think it's a good play. I think it's a really stupid play, and it barely ever works. But yeah, I would favor Houston. I'll play devil's advocate real quick, just for Pittsburgh fans, just in case they win. Again, I'm gonna quote mine the heck out of Jalen, and then I'm gonna take this one little thing out of what I said, and it's gonna sound like I'm a genius. So Pittsburgh is good at what? Getting the ball off quickly. Huh? So pass rush. That's how you beat a pass rush. Okay. Now don't go over like, oh, other teams have tried that against Houston. Sure. I'm doing this for clickbait purposes. Okay. So let me have it. They do that pretty well. DK Metcalf being there, if Lassiter's there and Stingley's obviously going to be there, I don't see how that really plays a huge factor. DK can moss both of them, sure, but if you keep attacking that, you're going to get picked off a couple times. So I wouldn't tell Aaron Rodgers to do that. But nonetheless, anyways, yeah, Houston should win this game by a landslide. Aaron Rodgers. Well, let me ask you, do you think Aaron Rodgers retires if they lose? Or do you think he goes to? Because I think he goes to a different team. I don't think he even stays on Pittsburgh.
Oof.
I think he doesn't retire. He goes in free agency, and like you'll see him being talked about with Indianapolis or something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Oh man. I think this is it. I keep like 90% of the week, I think, he's got to play one more year. It just doesn't seem like it's going to be it. Then you watch him play, and I'm like, this is it. Like, this dude, every time he gets touched, it looks like he's about to just
Yeah.
break into pieces. And I'm like, me just watching this, I'm like, ugh. I know, like, if you're actually living it, he's got to be just sick of, like, I am over 40 years old. This
100%.
really hurts now, and I can't keep doing this. And I don't know, it just looks like it in his face. It's like you can tell when someone just seems done, and that's the only. It's just from a physical limitation thing. I think he cannot do this anymore.
Mhm. Well, that's true. 100% true. That might lean in favor towards him not showing up again. But what I tell the fellas is, even if you're a critic of Aaron Rodgers, when you watch some of the passes he's able to still land, it's like, well, he's still got it. He's still got his
Yeah.
arm. He's not Peyton Manning it. He's not doing all of that. He still has the arm strength, the accuracy, be able to put it just in a bucket where nobody else can get it. But against Houston, I don't think he'll have that time to do that. So that's where this might be the issue there. Oh,
Yeah.
RIP. RIP. Let's go into the last comments and then we'll exit this sucker out. Look, we all know y'all are really scared of Houston. Y'all hoping y'all don't see us next round. Well, I'm scared of your defense, to be fair. Yes. Am I scared of your offense? I think your offense is one of the worst in. Y'all talk about Pittsburgh. I think y'all's offense is worse than Pittsburgh, but you got that defense. So just since you want to come at you. Milton is a closeted Colts fan. No, I just had a whatever, dude. I'm not. I don't have a reputation. I just not. Regarding Rodgers, winning is one of the best painkillers. Correct. If they somehow beat the Houston Texans, Cody, oh man, you're gonna be in for it, dude. Because you've been talking a lot.
Oh yeah. Oh,
we're Patriots fans, and we're not even talking that much. Why? Because we're glad to be here. You guys are always just talking, talk. So we'll see. But the game's on, fellas. So Los Angeles Rams and Carolina Panthers is on right now. Stop watching this, but make sure you like and subscribe. Go over to After Further Review as far as the host and creator Jalen over here that was nice enough to engage with me on this beautiful afternoon. Please make sure to go support him. And yeah, fellas, Jalen, plug in your stuff. I know I just plugged it in, but plug in your stuff. Say your salutations. But before you do that, Jalen, thank you for being here, dude. I didn't want to do this talking to a camera. This sucks. That sucks. And it's really awkward. So Thank you for engaging with me so much. I do appreciate your time. But that's it as far as the people's debate and all that. But yeah, Jalen, please do your thing.
Yeah, thanks, Milton, for inviting me on here. I'm always down to come talk ball with you. It's crazy that this NFL year is like just about over now. But we also talk NBA over on our show. I'm a big NBA nerd. So if y'all want to come through, we are just at After Further or on Instagram at AFR Sports. Same on TikTok. Here on YouTube, just After Further Reviews if you look it up on YouTube. So we'll be live post game. So around like 11:30 tonight, we'll be recapping these two games from today. So yeah,
there we go. If I'm up, is there an invite? I want to show up.
Oh yeah, come on through, man.
That's what I'm talking about. See the hospitality? That's how you do it, fellas. All right. Well, much love, appreciation. Till next time.